Hey, and welcome to Bush Kiddz. We're out in the garden again today, doing a little bit of bushcrafting. My hair's all over the place. Yeah, we're going to do another challenge today, and this is a challenge that's going to take a lot of concentration. Actually, it's going to take a lot of knife skills, so we need to really be careful. Watch our knife safety video first, and thoughts on knife safety and use. But it's going to take a lot of effort and attention to make some cuts to a stick and sawing of a stick, so that we can make a figure of 4 trap. Now, this whole challenge is about knife skill and working with wood. The trap itself has been used before out in the wilds in a survival situation, but of course shouldn't be setting any traps up on any kind of private land unless it's your own. And even if it's on your own, you shouldn't be setting it up for the neighbourhood cat. So this is really about just showing the concepts of cutting with a figure of 4 trap. So let me just show you the trap itself. So here's the figure of 4 trap set up. And you can see I've got a little bit of decking here just to show the point. And it's set up like this, and it's holding that trap up. And the idea is you put some bait on here, either stuck on the end or tied on the end there, and something comes along and messes about with the bait, and the heavy stone or log or whatever else falls on top of it. And that's possible because each of those figure of 4 pieces are freestanding. They're not fixed together in any way. So let me show you what you need. Okay, so these are our 3 pieces, and you can see this is the one that was on the ground, and it's just got a rounded tip on the ground, so it kind of fits and digs into the ground a little bit but doesn't stick in completely. We've got a square notch been put into the stick, in this case about just off halfway, and at the top we've got a chisel type angle. I've just rounded it off a little bit, so not that it's spiky, but just rounded it off so it's a chisel at the top. So that's the one that goes in the ground. One that goes along the side, again we've got a square cut. And that fits into that area there, and that's how it fits together. And then what we've got then is we've got some stop cuts, some 90-degree cuts there, so I can angle the final piece. And from the end where the bait is, we've either got a point for the bait to go on, or a little bit of a rounded cut there to tie the bait on with some string. So that one fits in like so. And then the last piece, we've got a chiseled end again, and that goes into the bottom part, into that chisel there, that 90-degree angle. And then we've got some 90-degree cuts, stop cuts at the top, and again, depending on the angle of the chiseled end at the end, it goes at the top. So you end up with your figure of 4. And of course, when you're putting something on the top here, it adds a bit of pressure and balance, and it is about the balance, so you need to watch what you're doing. And because we've got some weight going on that, then we've just chamfered that off, and so that it's not straight at the end. So let's get on. So you can see here this first part that goes into the ground, or on the ground, I should say. It's about as long as my arm, so I'm going to cut one off a new piece of hazel for that. So we've got a piece of coppice hazel here, and I'm going to use the thickest part at the bottom for this first piece. Okay, so I'm keeping my hands well out the way of the saw here, or I'm going above the saw until I've got the cut started. You have to excuse the wobbling on the camera. If the saw gets stuck, just lift it forward. Just slowing down at the end. With this, just going to make sure that the end is rounded off. It's kind of rounded off. I've done it before at the back of this walking stick anyway, so that's okay. On the other side then, I'm going to start to do a chisel size. So I'm just going to cut, keeping the knife really strong in a good grip. I'm just going to cut away from the body. I'm just cutting flat. You can see here I'm just cutting flat. Just to get that chisel end. Okay, so I'm kind of almost halfway through there. About halfway through, so I'm just going to turn that over, find out where the flat edge is and go again this side. Always cutting away from the body. Making sure there's nobody to the side of us or around us. Okay, so I'm just seeing that I need to keep it on one side now. Okay, so we're thereabouts on that. That's good. Chisel it. Okay, so I'm now going to cut the next section of the 4 about the same size as the one we've just done. So just going to measure that up and then cut off. Marked up, keep my hands away. My hand over. Okay, so on this side we're going to do, first and foremost, we're just going to do chamfered edge on the back end. So what I'm doing is just taking little bits just off the end of this, just using my reinforced grip here, with my thumb doing the effort rather than my hand. Just taking that off. So one side. And on the other side, then what we're also going to have is we're going to have the end which we have the trap or the bait. So I'm going to make a little bit of a spike first, and then we're going to make a rounded cut so that we can attach some string body. So not quite going to make a spike here, just going to make kind of a chisel edge. We've got a little bit of an edge now, so I'm now going to make that a chiseled edge by going flat again. Kind of halfway, go the other side now. So we've got a number of options here. We can either sharpen that up and use it to pierce the bait on, or we can make a fork on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the knife to very, very carefully come back in to the, just with I'm not putting any pressure on this, I'm just moving the knife just like this to just get a cut, and do the other side. Again, only no pressure whatsoever, just moving the knife so you can see getting a bit of a cut. The other way. We can just keep going with that. There's no pressure at all. Being very careful here. Turn it around. Just having a bit of a wiggle. Just hardly any pressure at all from the knife, you can see. So with that in mind now, just going to make that a little bit sharper. See, and now I'm just going to bring it in a little bit on the sides. Bait on the end of that. So you could make that however you want, but just remember, this is hardly any pressure on this. I'm just moving the knife just to cut those little bits out. There you go. So next bit is we're going to do a rounded cut. So what I'm going to do is just use my blade again. I'm just going to use just my pressure of the blade to kind of cut piece all the way around, being very careful now. You can see I put a line all the way around the piece, and I'm just going to go around that again now, hardly putting any pressure on this, just rocking the knife. Keep my fingers out of the way, being controlled, just rocking the knife, hardly any pressure. Right. So now we've got that all the way around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to cut back to that line from this side. So it's not cut this side, so that we can start to see a bit of an area or cut back here that can hold a piece of string. So I'm going to do this by, again, good grip, using my reinforced grip and my thumb here. I'm just going to cut back to the edge, just a centimetre or so, really controlled, just coming all the way around back to that cut. Cut too much, then just come back and just, again with the blade, just gently rock it. Really controlled, really slow. Okay, still a little bit left on this. I'm just going to go back with a knife, cut back. Again, hardly any pressure here, just rocking the knife all the way around. You can see now we've got a little bit of a cut back there. So I'm going to go again and see if I can make that a little bit deeper, nice and gentle. Okay, so a rounded cut again, and just to finish off that, just make sure those bits come off. Just again rocking the knife. All the way around. Right. You can see now, with a bit of cleaning, we've got a bit of a area there to put a bit of string around and attach our bait. So we've got a rounded edge, forked edge at one side, and then an area cut back, a rounded cut back, to help us with the bait. So we're just cutting the last piece now. And again, just securing this hand over, nice and gentle with the saw. Nice and controlled at the end. Done. So for this piece we're going to do a rounded beveled chamfered end again. So I'm just going to use my fist grip, reinforced grip, with a thumb, just to kind of put some more pressure on that. Just take the edges off. Cutting away from you again, really in control, watching the blade, making sure you know where it is. Okay, so we just cut the edge off there. On this side again, we're going to do a spade cut, just to be flat again like we did before. So just going to start again, move away, hold it, keep my fingers out of the way, keeping it flat, flat. Turn it over to the other side. Check in, cut a little bit too far on that side. Okay, there you go. Just a little bit on that side, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got our three pieces. So we've got the one across the middle, where we've got our little bit of a fork end for the bait. We've got the one in the middle, and we've got a spade cut at the end. And then we've got the one going up on the sides, spade cut at the bottom, rounded edge at the end. So we've now got to put in a 90-degree stop cut here, and a 90-degree stop cut here, to make sure that we're cutting it in the right place. I'm just going to line that up, just try and see whereabouts roughly I need to make the cut. So again, just using my knife, just going to wiggle my knife here to tell me I need a cut there, and then on the top, just going to here, just to tell me I need a cut there. So we're going to start to do those stop cuts now. So a stop cut is going to be like a 90 degrees cut here. So what we're going to do is we're going to saw down about a third of the way through, and then we're going to cut back with the knife. So we're looking to do one on the horizontal piece first, so we'll start that one first. Okay, so we're going to find the place right at the end, and we're just going to, again, very carefully keep our hands out of the way. Just start very carefully. Make sure. Very carefully now. So we've got about a third of the way through, and we're just going to cut back to that now. So we've got the cut here. I'm going to use the knife. Remember, we're cutting back and we're controlling it with this reinforced grip, using our thumbs just to take some little bits off back to that cut. You can see there, just very gently, just back to the cut. You can hear the blade stopping at that, that's why it's called a stop cut. There you go, 90 degrees. Didn't take too long at all. So, a third of the way through with cut, and then cut back with the knife, being really, really controlled and really gentle with that reinforced grip. Now this is the one that goes at kind of that side. What we need to make sure is that when we're doing the stop cut, it's level with the spade. So the spade's going to be flat that side, and then the cut is going to be on this side. So it needs to, the spade needs to be flat. So we need to think about that in terms of where the cut needs to be. So we're doing it about here. Again, fingers out the way whilst we get this started. Nice and gentle with the saw. You can always hold it this side if it's more comfortable, but just very, very careful. Want a third of the way through. Okay, so we've got the flat end there and the cut there that we're going to cut back to now. Grip reinforced with the thumb, fingers out the way. Here's our cut here, and we're just going to do the same as what we did before. Really, really careful. You can hear it stopping on that saw cut. So we've got that cut again. Okay, so here we are, and here's what we got so far. We've got our chiselled end, spade end going into a notch, chiselled end, spade end going into a notch at the top. And what we're left to do now is the two square cuts in here to join them up. So again, what we're going to do is I'm just going to now mark up again with the knife where this is. So again, just gently rolling the knife to cut that side, gently rolling the knife to cut that side. Okay. So the key thing here is, of course, this notch needs to be straight, horizontal, and the hook can be whatever it wants to be on this side. So we need to do the thing at 90 degrees here on this side. So we're going to turn it over so our thing is, our notch is facing downwards. We've got our two marks here, and again what we're going to do is this time we're going to go halfway through on both. So again, taking it really steady with the saw. nearly halfway. Yeah, it's nearly halfway. So we'll do the other one now. Just cut here. Again, really, really careful with the saw. Get parents to help you, or parents to hold the stick if you're struggling. Just make sure your fingers are out of the way. Okay, we're kind of halfway there now. So with this cut, what we're going to do this time is we're going to cut back in here and in here until we move that out. So again, just taking our time, grip reinforced, going back to the stop cut. And you can hear it stop. Just cut it away if there's a little bit left. See the stop cut there. I can do the same on the other side now. You can see. What I'm going to do is start to just take this little bit out the middle, being very careful now. I'm just using the knife to go a bit deeper. See, I'm changing it. Just trying to slice a little bit at a time. No need to go mad to rush it. Not too hard, you're doing too much. Taking the slightest little bits off. Nearly there now. Just changing the angle. Nearly there. There you go. Kind of there or thereabouts. Kind of halfway. You can see. So now I've got to do the same with the upright. Okay, so we're just checking again. Got a chiseled end there, chiseled end going into there, and then we're just going to find where that piece is. You can see where it fits in, and this time with that straight, I'm going to use the knife just to mark it on this side. Just rip. Again, just rocking the knife just to get a place. And there you go, there's our stop cut. Okay, so with this one again, we've got to make sure that this one is going to be upright, and we need the chisel end to be flat that way. So we're going to be cutting into it on one side. So we need to make sure that we're on the right side for that to come in. So you can see here, that side has that side. So we want it that side. So we need to be cutting in on this side for that to fit in. So now we've done that, I'm going to come round. I'm going to find out where our cuts are and start to cut with the saw. Okay, so we've cut out our square notch again, so let's see if we can get it together now. Okay, so we've got it all together. Rounded edge at the bottom, square cut on either side so that fits in together and clips in. We've got our chiseled edge and 90-degree stop cut, chiseled edge, 90-degree stop cut, and our bait side. So let's see if we can get this up and set. Okay, so we've got it up and set here, and just because I've put this bit of decking up, I've just sharpened the end a little bit so it holds it. So you can see we've got our bait side and notches this side that are holding it together. You can see got the weight on that 90-degree notch there with a spade end, and on the same there. So let's see if we can set this trap off. So we've got our jumping little thing that's come along, and jumping little thing takes the bait and gets squished, and there you go. So there you go, figure of 4 trap. Not that we want to be trapping things in our garden or out on anywhere else, to be honest. Get in trouble for that. But what it is good for is engineering and thinking about how these things fit together, and taking some real time and energy and awareness and concentration on those cuts. So this is an advanced challenge. You really need to start to think about those cuts and be careful with the children if you're going to attempt this with them. It is an advanced challenge. They should really be fairly competent with the knife cuts and getting those cuts done first. But give it a go if you can get it together, and show us your traps. See you all soon.